Welcome to the 216 Hotline Clean Change Makers. Today's episode is sponsored by Tarani.
Sponsored by Tarani. Tarani, family-owned company, great company. They're very philanthropic. They have been a supporter here at the TWO Foundation for a while, and you can come into our cafe, get some of the Tarani-made syrups, some of our pure-made syrups, no artificial dyes. None of the ones we have artificial dyes. And get some great drinks here made by our beverage team. So thank you to Tarani.
Yeah, thanks to Tristan and Derek, and as Tristan said, we're incredibly grateful for Tarani's sponsorship. One of our values here at the TWO Foundation is to inspire meaningful change. We're excited to be joined today by our February changemaker, Matt Dolan.
That's right. That's right. So our first changemaker episode of 2026. We're thrilled to have you on. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for asking me. I'm excited to be here.
Can't wait.
Yeah, so if you hadn't seen our Two's Q's previously with Matt, go back and check that out. And then, in today's conversation, we'll get to dive a little deeper into who Matt is and, some of the profound impacts that he's had on our community here. So thank you for being here.
Yeah.
So before, I think probably many people know a little bit about Matt Dolan, but why don't you give us a little bit of your personal story and your background here first?
Okay. So I'm lifelong Ohio, Northeast Ohio. I grew up in Chardon, Ohio. I'm the fourth of 6 kids, 3 boys, 3 girls.
Lively household.
Yeah.
Lively household, right. And so lived in Chardon, went to Gilmore for high school, Boston College for college, and I happened to be there at the same time Doug Flutie was there. So say football fans will remember the Hail Mary pass, a certain Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It was, Boston College was a really good regional school, but the impact of sports, it became a national school overnight because of that. And then came back here and went to law school at Case Western, started in the Attorney General's office, moved to the prosecutor's office, moved into private practice at my dad's firm, Thrasher, Dinsmore and Dolan, and then practiced law for 15 years. And then family got involved in businesses, got involved in that, and the pool to public service got me involved in public service.
Yeah, and we'll get into that a little bit here. But you were a pretty good baseball player yourself, and then was it always a pursuit to be a lawyer and get into law? Was that a passion of yours?
So I'm going to use my dad's line. When my dad was a very good baseball player, but he would always say, "Well, there's no film to prove otherwise."
Yeah.
So if you want to call me out as a really good baseball player, there's no film to prove.
You can't disprove it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we all loved it.
Yeah.
We all loved playing baseball, but the idea of playing professionally or owning a baseball team just never crossed our mind.
Yeah.
So the idea of practicing law really didn't, really drive home until later in college. But the idea of what my dad did in that, I remember one day I asked him, why do you like being a lawyer? And he said, because every meeting begins with, how can I help you? So that pool to service attracted me to being a lawyer. The logical thinking, I grew up with that. I grew up with a father like that. I grew up with a mother like that. So it was natural to go into the how to solve a problem.
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. Now that makes a lot of sense, and I think starts to connect some of the dots for what we're going to go through here. Derek?
Obviously, there's passion for baseball in your family. Can you tell us how your family got involved with the Guardians?
So, growing up, the thought of us owning the team never crossed our mind. In fact, our best Christmas gift every year was my dad would go out and get Indians tickets for the summer. And, so we'd know we'd have at least 2 or 3 games to go to every summer. But as my dad got more successful and his brother, my uncle, got successful, the idea of owning a sports franchise was intriguing to them, and they were blessed, and with hard work they had the wherewithal to do it. So we actually first sought the Browns, and when the Browns were coming back, we tried to buy the Browns.
Right.
Obviously did not get it, and that put us on the map of other people being aware of teams that we might want to purchase.
Right.
So we were looking at both football and baseball, and then one day my dad got a call from Dick Jacobs saying, I'm thinking of putting the Indians up for sale. Would you be interested? And of course, my dad grew up a huge Indians fans. We all did. So yes, we were very interested to have that opportunity. And so in 1999, we struck the deal, and we've been owners since the 2000 season.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, what an amazing time to be coming on board with the Indians, and the piece about the Browns, that's interesting. I don't think I had known that.
I didn't know that at all, no.
Yeah, yeah. And Jack, you want to kind of continue?
Yeah, for sure. So Matt, along with owning the team, I know you spent some time in the Indians front office. Do you have a favorite story or memory from your time in the front office?
So, okay, so yeah, I guess what I would say is I spent time, we had like an executive committee, and then I was kind of running the charity side as well.
Okay.
One of the things that my dad brought to the team, though, was we're going to let baseball people run it. And business people run the business side.
I love that.
So
That is.
even though I was in the front office, it really, the Chris Antonettis and the Mark Shapiros and Mike Chernoff, we let them run it.
Yeah.
Because
For sure.
that's their profession. So I guess for me was getting behind the scenes and understanding how you put a professional baseball team together, what you have to go through to determine whether somebody is going to help your team or not. So imagine this. You have to decide that an 18-year-old kid, you're picking on an 18-year-old kid, and you have to project what that person's going to be like at 22 and 23.
Right.
Now, mind you, that 18-year-old has always been the best on his team. And now he's going to get drafted and go into the minors where he might go 0 for 2 weeks, have a 16-hour bus ride. Does he have the mental and emotional makeup to push through failure? Because these guys have never faced failure before.
Right, for sure.
So projecting what that guy's going to be like, and one of the things that I think my dad and my brother have brought to the Guardians is this idea of let's invest money in the development of a team, the development of the minor leagues, the development of nutrition, the development of psychology.
Right.
So we understand that every kid we're bringing into the system has the makeup and the chance, and all the deliverables are there. And that's why you see a lot of our young kids actually producing at a much higher rate than you see other teams' young kids.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys do such a tremendous job of that. I mean, and I think what you said sounds easy, but hiring the right people, getting the greatest baseball minds and content experts that you can find, and empowering them to do their job. I mean, you guys have done such an incredible job of that.
Yeah, and using technology. I mean, baseball is a sport we all love, but it's amazing how much technology it's in. And let me give you an example of that. So we were the first team to have all our minor league fields wired for data.
Okay.
Right, for sure.
And in the old days, when you'd get a minor league report, you'd look at it and go, oh, Bob Smith went 4 for 4 and Ted Jones went 0 for 4. Oh, Bob Smith had a great day. He's doing really well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Now with all the data, it'll say Bob Smith went 4 for 4, but he only hit the ball hard 3 times.
Right.
Whereas the 0 for 4, he hit the ball hard all 4 times.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, in the baseball development mind, Bob Smith had the better game because he had better contact.
For sure.
When that developmental piece is so important. I mean, I remember seeing a special about Derek Jeter, and Yankees draft him young, and you're going through those minor leagues, and he talked about the struggle and that time in those years, and where people are looking around like, is this really the guy? Like, is this really the guy? And it takes one person believing in him saying, yeah, he's the guy. But yeah, I mean, he even talks about that. Like, man, I wanted to get on a bus and go home, but who you are as a person matters a lot.
It does.
Do you have it to constantly improve? Can you handle failure? Because like I said, a lot of these guys have never tasted failure.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, it's so big with the development that there is. Unlike the other leagues, there's all the minor leagues and so many different players that you got to kind of key in on who's the best one.
Yeah, and unlike other sports, when we have draft day, you know, when the Cavs draft somebody, the Browns draft somebody, you're likely to see them play next season.
Right.
When
Right.
we draft somebody, you may not see that for 3 or 4 years.
For sure.
So it's a difficult sport to project talent, and you always have to do it 4 or 5 years out. So who do you have in your system that you can project in 4 years can play that position?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before we move on, what's your personal story? I just have one more baseball-specific question. So obviously there's a huge gap in teams' payrolls with the recent, like, the Dodgers just signed Kyle Tucker. They outbid, the Cubs offered them $50 million. They upped it to $60 and kind of got that over, the deal over the finish line. Can you kind of discuss those challenges between small and big market teams?
It is a real challenge, and the Dodgers are distinguishing themselves amongst the large market teams.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a discussion of salary cap and salary floor, and we can get into that. But the real difference in baseball versus the other sports is that the local TV contracts stay exclusively with that team.
Okay.
So when we get a chance to watch the Guardians on our channel, coming up this year, we get $41 million from our TV
wow.
contract.
Okay.
The Dodgers get about $360 million from their TV.
That's insane.
And they keep all that money, and we keep all the $41 million. So the disparity in the local contracts, I mean, simply Los Angeles has more eyeballs to watch a game
Right.
than the Cleveland does.
Right, for sure.
So other teams, leagues share revenue, while we share all the national revenue.
Right, for
The
sure.
disparity in that local revenue. And that means not just TV, but that's also radio.
Right.
So it is really difficult. Los
Right.
Angeles has 55,000 seat stadium. We have a 32,000 seat stadium.
Right.
Our top ticket price is about $280. Their top ticket price is like $2,500. So there's just a disparity in that and the revenues that each team gets.
Do you think in the future there's going to be just a hard cap like the NFL and
More
NBA
revenue
has?
sharing,
Yeah,
salary
revenue
cap.
sharing. Yeah.
So yes, I think there'll be a salary cap, but only if there's a salary floor.
Okay.
And then what the salary cap or what revenue sharing will look like, you're going to be asking the Dodgers and the Mets and the Yankees to say, okay, some of the contract that we get, we're going to share that. That's going to be a hard pill for them to swallow.
Yeah.
But they're also going to say, okay, well then teams, you have to have a minimum. You have to have a floor. We don't want you taking our money and just put it in your back pocket. You got to spend the money.
Right, for sure.
That makes total sense.
Yeah. Well, and I think it just, again, speaks to the first half of what you just said and how impressive of a job the team does.
At
You know,
developing.
year in, year out, putting a product out there, putting a team out there that goes and competes and, you know,
And winning the ultimate prize of World Series is still our #1 goal. But you know, here we are early February, and this morning's paper, it listed the 5 most winningest team in baseball over the last 10 years. We're #4. But of the top 5, only 2 have been to a World Series in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Wow. Derek, you want to ask the next question?
Yes. So, Matt, what led you to step away from the Guardians front office and get involved with politics?
Yeah, so you know, part of my career building was I was a lawyer at Thrasher, Dinsmore and Dolan, and before we got into the sports business, we were in the real estate business. We had some movie theaters across the country, some restaurants, some apartment buildings. So I started running those as my brother moved more into the Guardians. So my role in the Guardians was more tangential than day to day. I stayed in the law firm and practiced law.
Right.
But that bug of public service just never left me, and wanted to feel like I could make a difference. I felt like you make a difference as a lawyer, and you certainly, you know, if you're providing a job for somebody, you're making a big difference there as well,
Right.
which you guys are well aware of. But it pulled me there, and I felt like I had something to offer. So when the opportunity for a seat came available, I ran for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, and I
Very
think we'll get into in our Changemaker segment a little bit further, but you know the impact that you've had has been profound. So then fast forward a little bit further, and now you're at Team NEO. Can you give everybody a quick, snapshot of what Team NEO is, what you guys are all about?
Yep. So Team NEO is an economic development entity. We are responsible for 14 counties because we are the regional partner, one of 7, for Jobs Ohio. And Jobs Ohio is the statewide economic development.
Yeah.
But here's what's great about Team NEO and Jobs Ohio. We are not part of state government. We're not funded by state government. So we have the ability to be as creative and work as fast as businesses need.
Yeah.
Well, what do? We retain, we expand, and we attract jobs, businesses, and opportunities throughout Northeastern Ohio in the traded sectors. And that's manufacturing, that's aerospace, aviation, that's the business of healthcare, that's chemicals. So we don't play in retail, we don't play in commercial, residential, but in mainly manufacturing type jobs is where we, and so we visit businesses, say, what do you need to grow? And we go outside the state of Ohio and say, how is it that we can bring your jobs here to Ohio and continue your prosperity while you're here?
Yeah. Well, and I think, again, the impact, we just wanted to give everybody kind of the what first as we went through, whether it's law, whether it's politics, whether it's Team NEO. But as we transition here into our Changemaker segment, getting into a little more of the impact that you've kind of alluded to, it's clear that obviously service is a huge part of who you are. I think when you look at all of the different things that you've done, it's that thread of I genuinely care and I genuinely want to make an impact, that leads you to what it is that you're doing. So, which is why we're proud to be able to recognize you as the 216's Changemaker this month. So,
For sure.
Jack, you want to go back to kind of the Guardians, and then we'll start to move forward with our Changemaker questions?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I know you discussed earlier about how you ran the Guardians charity program. So you talked about the commitment and impact that your family and the Guardians franchise has made in Northeast Ohio and the community itself.
Well, thank you. So, my parents and myself and my brothers and sisters individually and collectively have, are involved in numerous charities, numerous opportunities to invest in making sure others succeed in all kinds of areas. As it relates to Indians charities or Guardians charities now, that's a result of my father. And you have to understand where he grew up. So he grew up playing baseball in the Cleveland Baseball Federation.
Okay.
And what that was a summer league of baseball. As we began to take over the team, and of course you want people to like the game of baseball, and he saw that the Cleveland Baseball Federation was falling apart. Yeah. That the Cleveland School District wasn't even offering baseball. And so one of the first things he wanted to focus on is let's invest in baseball in the inner city.
Yeah.
And that meant not only paying for the entire softball and baseball program for the Cleveland school systems,
Yep.
It meant investing in fields. It meant investing in baseball camps. It meant investing in umpire camps, paying the umpires. So to really get folks engaged, not just because we want them to love the game of baseball, because it's all the aspects of sports that help kids.
Yeah.
Right.
So for years, that was the singular focus. We've now gone off to investing in opportunities that are complementary to that mission, but making sure the kids have after school care, make sure that they have books, make sure that they have shoes, make sure they have coats and uniforms and things like that. So for the charities, that's the main driver. And now we have baseball camps all over Northeastern Ohio all throughout the summer, with the main camp being at League Park, the old League Park, for the inner city folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome though that you can continue your father's legacy in that way. That's really cool.
Well, and sports are so much greater than just the sport it is that you're playing. I mean, as a kid, you're learning so many life lessons, and you're building so many relationships, and there's such a formative experience.
There is, and it wasn't to develop young players so they could become professional. It was to develop young men and women so they can become,
Right.
productive men and women.
For sure.
Sure.
Right.
Though exciting news, about 2 years ago, and I'm blanking on his name, the first player from the Baseball Federation got drafted.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they are producing some
it's
good
cool.
players
Producing
too.
some good
Yeah.
talent.
That is.
Yeah. Well, that's just one.
Not
But
why you do it, but one of those
yeah,
full circle
it's-
moments.
well,
where it's,
some kids, you're blessed with a lot of things. And
Yes.
some kids
Yeah.
are blessed with the right arm that it's like, wow, where did that come from? Or
Right, for sure.
but most of us, we're blessed with all kinds of other things that will never put us on a professional athletic field.
Right.
Yeah, but they need the opportunity.
Yeah.
And it, that kind of transitions perfectly into the two here, because that's what our mission statement is. We're here to create opportunities for individuals of every ability.
Yep.
So just like you guys and the Guardians are providing those opportunities in youth sports, we're doing the same thing here. Which you kind of fast forward again now into the world of politics and your time being a politician. This is really where the relationship between the two foundation and Matt starts. And just to give everybody a quick little background story, because I think it speaks a lot to who you are as a person. We had our ribbon cutting here November of 2024. You come in. First, you didn't have to come, but you come. And wasn't just to smile and wave at people and shake hands. You get up and you talk about who the two foundation is and what we do and why it matters. And this is something we ourselves have to work pretty hard at here at the two to be able to tell our story effectively. And I just remember you get up there and so eloquently and effectively talk about the two foundation and who we are and what we do. And I just think it speaks to the heart of who you are, and you genuinely care. You want to invest in those opportunities that really make an impact. So whether it was the two or other things during your time as a politician, what is it that so much resonates with you? And I know now you're talking about jobs and Team NEO, not to get ahead of ourselves
Yeah,
here.
right.
But what is it that so much resonates about the two foundation and maybe some of those other impacts that you wanted to have in the world of politics?
Yeah, so there are general themes that drive people in the public service. You want to work on the economic environment. You want to make sure schools are good. And so all of us go in with a genuine idea of how we want to do that. Then there are the authentic opportunities to make a real difference in individuals' lives. And so you were kind enough to talk about me, but it was really your story that got told through my sister and your mom. How it started for me, Two Foundation, is at your first place over in Bainbridge. My mom and I went there for coffee. And apparently my sister would take my mom and my dad there as well. So there was, your mom made a connection. Oh, you're Carol's mom. Oh, who are you? I said it, and she said, oh, well, let me tell you about the two.
Yeah.
And I think I met you, and I know I met you.
Right.
And you took me around, you took me behind, and you talked about your mission.
Yeah.
And, I was going to a coffee shop
Yeah.
to have coffee with my mom.
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
And what I realized is I was having coffee in a place that's making a difference in individuals' lives. And there were people who wanted to grow. There were people who wanted to see this expand beyond what could be. I mean, you guys saw where you could go. And so when you guys were ready to have an opportunity, I was ready to help you.
Yeah.
So it's really, it's your story that I got to tell down in Columbus, which produced a result. It's less to do with me and more to do with what you guys do each and every day.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Well, and
That's awesome.
we thank you for that. And we went through our huge capital campaign to get our location here in Chagrin off the ground, and the state, helped fund that and played a vital role. So thank you for all of that, and genuinely caring and being invested. And saw you in here for breakfast a week or so ago, right. And but that's what we want this to be. We want people to come in here just because you want to come get the best coffee. You want to come have the best breakfast or the best lunch. And then you catch the vision and you start to see what's really going on here. So, I think
and it's working because you are known. You are known. The Two Cafe, I love that place. It's either I love that place and its mission, or I love that place, or I love its mission. Either way, people understand what you provide every day and what your mission is.
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, and it's because of change makers and ambassadors like yourself. So, we appreciate that. We always say our greatest challenge is awareness. And On the 216 here, that's one of our goals. Is we're going to increase awareness.
More awareness, that's the goal.
That's right. That's right. But you know, people like yourself obviously play a huge role in that too. So thank you for that. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Jack?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. So it's pretty clear that Team NEO really hit a home run when they were able to bring you on as their CEO. This position seems to give you the opportunity to utilize all your career experiences and strengths so well. How do you feel that Team NEO really sets you up to have such a significant impact?
Well, directly, Team NEO does it because of the quality of the staff and the professionals I get to work with every day. But when I got term limited out at the end of 24, and really didn't know that the position of Team NEO was even open. I got a call, I looked into it, and to your point, Jack, about making a difference, you know, I realized that, look, we as a politician talked constantly about jobs and vibrancy.
Yeah.
You know, and you can argue whether we did a good job or a bad job, whether a particular policy leads towards that or it's detriment to that. I mean, that's the system. System seems to be maybe more at a breaking point now, but here I realized, wow, if we do a good job, we really are creating a job. I mean, last year we created 2,951 new jobs in the 14 county area. Wow. Equally as important is we saved just over 7,800 jobs in the area. Yeah. So making sure that we are telling Northeastern Ohio's story so businesses can grow is a difference that I like making. And when we go to, you know, when we strike a deal, when we get a company to say, yes, I'm going to expand here, or yes, I'm going to come here, we know that there's new jobs being created and jobs being retained. And that, it means something to me.
That's
awesome.
It does.
And the only way we're going to grow here is we got to provide opportunity.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we've been fortunate to have some great guests on the show, but whether it's David Gilbert with Destination Cleveland and, you know, the Greater Cleveland Sports Commission, whether it's Len Komorowski with Rock Entertainment Group, I mean, I think it would seem to me from the outside that, you know, you have some great partners in this advocating for Northeast Ohio. You know, little different realms, whether it's events, whether it's, you know, jobs. Are there some of those key vital partnerships in this area? Because I think, you know, as somebody who lives here, I think we do have a great story to tell.
Yeah, we certainly do. And David Gilbert, I think, is probably one of the most underrated, most significant impact on Northeastern Ohio. So quality of life is definitely important. And David Gilbert does a great job of bringing events here, bringing opportunities here, bringing tourists here. And once we get folks here, we know that they fall in love with this place.
Yeah.
Ours is a little more clinical. So while we need to be able to tell a story of quality of life and cost of living, we got to get by the accountants. Yeah. We have to make sure it makes financial sense for that company to come here. So it starts with, do we have the right site for them? I mean, literally, do we have the right dirt? Yeah. You guys had to pick a spot. Yeah. That same, as you guys, we wanted to expand, where can we go? You saw this place and said, what is our vision for this place? That's what we do every day. Yeah. So whether it's a building that we have to reconfigure, whether it's an empty piece of ground that we have to pour money into to restore it or remediate it, that's what we have to be able to show people. And then, you know, they want to know, what incentives are you going to give us? Yeah. What tax breaks, what loans, what grants, what workforce training. So because of folks like David and Len and others who really do a good job of saying why Northeastern Ohio is so great, that part we got covered really well.
Yeah, then the how it works part.
Yeah, and what's it going to cost us? Yeah. So it's very clinical with us. Right. Once we get the, you know, I always joke, once we get the CFO on board, I know we can get the CEO on board. Yeah. And to come here. So that's our challenge.
Yeah. Do you find most of these conversations are starting because these companies are coming to Team NEO, or are you guys going out and facilitating some of these conversations?
So it's a little bit of mix. One of my roles as I took over is I realized that not enough people understood who we were, which again, I'm not doing it because I want all kinds of attention. I want businesses who are in our space to know that there's somebody they can call.
Right.
But we are, one of my goals was to raise more money for Team Neo so I could expand our traction program. And attraction is going outside the state of Ohio. So we have raised a significant amount of money so that we can be more aggressive on behalf of Northeastern Ohio. But I would say 70% of our success is ones that we went out and knocked on someone's door, and 30% is they already made a decision they want to come here or grow here, and then they reached out to us. So we'll take it no matter how it arrives, we'll take it.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's right. And Team Neo's been around for how long now?
So it's been around since 1992.
Okay.
Wow.
But there has been many tortured paths and stories, which are one of the, and I'm sure David Gilbert will tell you the same thing. One of our great strengths is the quality of life. One of our detriments is we haven't figured out yet how to all sing from the same songbook, so that when people look at Northeastern Ohio, they see synergy, they see energy, and it's not just esoteric like that. It matters.
Right.
So if all our 14 counties were considered one region economically, we'd be the 19th most vibrant region in the country. But because we get bifurcated, Cleveland wants this, and Akron wants that, and Canton wants this, and Sandusky, no one gets the big picture unless we go out and tell it. But if we could present the big picture on paper, they'll give you the 19th most vibrant county, they're going to give a look to. If we're 38th, 53rd, 73rd, they're not.
Yeah, it's getting your foot in the door. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Matt, who has been a change maker in your life?
Yeah, well, I mean, my dad, number one.
Right.
I mean, there is no doubt, and my mom and dad. Yeah, but there's no doubt the example they set about service, about just being involved, about doing your job, was, my parents were involved in so much that no one ever knows about. Yeah. And, my brother Paul often gets it, and I get it. It's like, you guys don't talk enough about what you do. That's not how we were raised. Yeah. But I will tell you, though, I don't know if this fits in the change maker, but I did have a moment. My 10th grade social studies teacher, history teacher, I forget what we called him back then, he said something that I have not forgotten. He said, pay attention to what you like to read, because that can be a path that your career path for you. Yeah. And, I like reading about sports, I like reading about history and government and politics, and so, that got me thinking, how can I match this public service bug that I think I inherited from my parents to what, I like doing. Yeah.
So, for sure. Yeah. One, I think it's just incredible to see, and we say this all the time here at the Two, the Two has become, God prepares you in a way where all your experiences, all your strengths, like they've prepared you for the good work that it is that you're to do. And, here you sit today at Team Neo, where it's like, you look through business or law or politics and public service or any of those things, and it's just all prepared you to be, in the seat that you're in today. And I know as residents here in Northeast Ohio, knowing some of the guests we've met previously, but also yourself, being at a little bit of the controls for Northeast Ohio's future here, we all feel really, really good about the future and how bright it is.
For sure.
I do too. We have a lot of opportunities. It's our job to capitalize on them now.
Yeah.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on today and being a change maker here in our community. We have a new hat.
Oh, nice.
216 hat. And then we have a Guardians.
I've never seen it written like that. That's really creative.
You're the first person to get one of these. They just came in.
Well, did you guys, the name TW016, did you guys do that?
216.
216.
Well, I get that. I've never seen it written like that. Yeah. That's fantastic. I know, that's fantastic.
It's the 216. Yeah. And then our Guardians colored themed together shirt here, Life Without Labels. So I know it's a little cold out and a little wintry,
Yeah.
but
It's not t-shirt
spring
weather.
training is going to
Yeah.
be starting.
Right around the
And we'll
corner.
have to bust out the T-shirts here before too long.
Before we
So-
do, Matt, what are your thoughts on the upcoming season for the Guardians?
Well, I got to be clear with everybody. I am always a half full kind of guy.
it.
But
Yeah.
let me tell you, I'm going to answer your question by what I said last year, so you're going to have to bring me back.
Okay.
Because I have to wait till we get through spring training.
Yes.
But on the last day of spring training, 2 days before the opener, I sent a text out and I said, we're going to have 87 wins and we're going to be the third wild card. Well, we had 88 wins and we won the division, so I was a little off.
You were close, though.
But give me this spring training,
Okay.
and I'll come back up here. I'll put specifics behind my optimism.
Okay, great. Thank
But
you
getting
so
Jose
much.
locked up, that's
That's
through
big.
2032. That's huge.
Yeah.
He's a guy that you're willing. Like, we talked about what a 22-year-old's going to be like.
Yeah.
Well, you also, when a veteran finally makes the big money, do they still have the desire to compete every day?
Yeah.
We have no doubts with him on that.
You just
Sure,
watch
yeah.
him on TV and you never doubt it.
Yeah.
You know, whether he's running out of ground ball or it's his enthusiasm just to play or
His work ethic is unmatched.
yeah.
Before we go, whatever, what is your take on Sam Folt's approach to the season?
Well, if you've watched any games, you know bullpen.
Yep.
Yes.
So most of our off season was rebuilding the bullpen. I
Absolutely.
think he understands we have very good starting pitching,
Yeah.
but that sixth inning to the ninth inning is where you win games. You
Absolutely.
either hold on to your lead or you allow the team to come back. So
Right. Oh, for sure.
I think his focus is there. I think he would like a right-handed bat like the rest of us would, but
Right, for sure.
let's hope David Price does that.
Exactly.
Good. Well, we're all looking forward to some spring weather and some baseball as we sit here with inches and feet of snow sitting
Yeah.
outside.
Never ending.
Jack,
For sure. So, Matt, it's been an honor getting to recognize you as the 216's February Changemaker. For all those at home, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube or check us out on Spotify. Derek?
Thanks for make a difference together. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
Matt, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.